Tank has been working hard lately, sweating it out and training every day. He's not just getting ready for Lamont Roach, he's also using his training to get into his opponent's head.
Yeah.
Tank recently shared another training video, and the intensity he showed made it clear what Lamont Roach will face in the ring. Tank didn't just share training footage. He added a warning for Lamont Roach. With just 4 words, "I'm coming for you," Tank set the tone for their fight. It's not just talk. It's a serious message from an undefeated fighter who has knocked out nearly everyone he's faced. For Roach, those words aren't just a challenge. They're a promise of what's coming.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it. I guarantee it.
Calm down.
Those 4 words come from a man who has always backed up his promises in the ring. For Lamont Roach, they signal a storm heading his way, a storm named Davis. With 30 fights and 30 wins, Tank has proven he's a force to be reckoned with. He doesn't just win, he dominates, with 28 of his victories ending in knockouts.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah,
now watch this.
Now
watch.
They gonna be
Davis's recent training videos have been creating a buzz online, and it's clear why. Watching him train is like seeing a predator in action. Every move is sharp, calculated, and powerful. His hand speed looks faster, his power seems stronger, and fans are amazed. One called it simply incredible, while another said he's just on another level. So in terms of emotional control,
my whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them.
Don't bring
them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah,
don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something.
It's not just Davis's speed that has everyone talking. He's also showing incredible versatility. Normally a southpaw, he's been training in an orthodox stance, throwing punches with ease and showing he's comfortable in any position. One fan even noticed, saying, "Bet nobody realized he's a natural southpaw doing this in an orthodox stance." Plus his footwork, he's really on a different level.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring or K next. And Tank's going to say, "I won all those guys." And they're going to go to the press conference. And Elliot Setback's going to say, "Who do you want next?" He say, "I won all the guys."
Davis isn't just training to win. He's training to improve. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Every fight, every session, and every punch brings him closer to perfection. For Lamont Roach, that's a scary thought, because he's facing a fighter who keeps getting better. Even with critics around, Davis's career is already legendary. His 2024 might have been quieter with only 1 fight, but it was a big one. He faced Frank Martin, a skilled and determined opponent, and showed why he's one of the best in the game.
You know, when they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit. Wait.
The 9th round knockout of Frank Martin was classic Davis. Patient, calculated, and devastating. Martin didn't stand a chance. Then there was his 2023 fight with Ryan Garcia, a moment that cemented Davis as a superstar. Garcia came into the fight with lots of hype as one of boxing's brightest young stars, but Davis made him look ordinary. It wasn't just a win, it was a dismantling, leaving no doubt who the better fighter was. Despite his success, Davis seems at odds with his career and has openly said he plans to retire by the end of 2025. This decision has left fans and experts confused, wondering why he'd leave at his peak. In a recent interview, Davis explained, "I've been through a lot, been betrayed, and it made me want to give up the limelight. Everyone chases being in front of the camera, but I don't want to be part of that."
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at 9.
For Davis, boxing isn't about fame or glory. It's about securing his future and taking care of the people he loves. As long as I have my money and can take care of my kids and whoever I need to, I don't need any of this, he said. You're always being judged, always living for someone else, but nobody's perfect. Still, before he retires, Davis has unfinished business, starting with Lamont Roach. Roach is no pushover, but he's stepping into the ring with someone on a completely different level. Davis isn't just a fighter, he's a phenomenon. Fans are already predicting a short fight, with one saying this won't last long, and another adding he looks fight ready now.
Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
Hey, what's your game plan for the fight?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
For Davis, this fight is more than just another win. It's a chance to remind everyone why he's the most feared man in boxing. For Roach, it's an opportunity to pull off an upset that could change his career. But let's be honest, upsets like that don't happen against fighters like Davis, especially when he's training and fighting with this kind of intensity. Tank seems to be throwing more than just punches these days. Lamont Roach might be preparing for a storm in the ring, but outside it, Davis is landing shots too. His latest target is Teofimo Lopez, who recently defended his WBO junior welterweight title against Steve Claggett. Lopez has been making headlines for his issues with Top Rank, but instead of getting sympathy, he's been on the receiving end of Tank's sharp words.
My whole family's from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you,
They
don't
gonna
bring
celebrate with me. Yeah,
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something.
Lopez has been outspoken about his frustration with his contract, especially after calling out Terrence Crawford for a fight at 154 pounds, only to be ignored. Now, he's trying to find a way out of his deal. While Crawford is focused on a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, he has no time for Lopez's challenge. Left in limbo, Lopez looked into his contract's buyout clause, but his public complaints haven't gone unnoticed. Bob Arum, the man behind Top Rank, pointed out that Lopez had willingly signed an extension before his fight with Sandor Martin. This doesn't look good for Lopez, and Tank made sure to remind him of that.
I'm gonna slap this when I see him.
Why is that, Tank?
I'm gonna really slap this shit up. I see him.
Teofimo?
Yeah.
What you think about Teofimo calling you and Crawford a friend?
When Lopez posted a skit of himself begging for money, it didn't take long for Davis to respond. Tank brought up an old video of Lopez talking about becoming the highest paid fighter at 135 pounds. Davis didn't hold back, mocking Lopez's struggles and delivering a sharp jab. I have a video on my phone of him saying he was going to be the most paid at 135. He's just talking out his ass. Crazy how things play out. And now he looks like a light-skinned Squidward, Tank said. His comment quickly caught attention, with fans on social media picking sides.
I know Tank. I know, mama.
Phil, is that you?
Yeah.
I got you, champ.
Huh.
Also, can you sign the—
While Lopez deals with contract issues, Davis has his own critics. Despite his undefeated record and powerful punches, Tank has been accused of cherry-picking opponents. His biggest win came against Ryan Garcia, but the fight was surrounded by controversy. Garcia was drained to 136 pounds, with a strict 10 lb rehydration limit. Critics argue that Davis hasn't faced the toughest challenges, and his next fight against Lamont Roach hasn't helped change that view. Roach, moving up from 130 psi, is seen as a heavy underdog. The build-up to the fight has been messy too, with Davis suggesting the fight was off, only for Roach to confirm it was still on.
Because my son already faced Tank when he was only 15 years old, and Tank was about 30 pounds bigger than him, and when we sparred him, and my son, did really good with him, even though.
The fight between Tank Davis and Teofimo Lopez could change everything. Lopez has already called out Davis, accusing him of avoiding tough fights. He didn't hold back, saying they're all food. Lomachenko was dessert, Kambosos is breakfast, and Haney's dinner. We'll see who's lunch at 140 when I beat Kambosos and knock out Devin. Davis is going to be back at 135. He He's avoiding me, just like he avoided Lomachenko. He'll be a 3-time interim champion at 3 different divisions. It's cute, but it's my turn now, then it's Tank's turn. I'm not dodging anyone. Fans are excited by the idea of a Davis-Lopez fight, as both bring explosive styles and big personalities. The tension between them only adds to the excitement. Lopez has always been outspoken, calling out the biggest names, while Davis usually lets his fists do the talking. But when he speaks, it's memorable. Their war of words has already set the stage for a potential fight, even if there's no official talk yet. However, boxing politics could get in the way. Lopez's ongoing contract issues with Top Rank could make the fight difficult, even if Davis is interested.
Oh man,
that's the right picture.
Tail versus Tank. Great fight, son. Great fight. What are we fighting at? Tell me the numbers. Tell me what we fighting. 135, 140, because that makes a difference.
Listen.
You got to go to the king. That's the king behind me.
Stylistically, they're the same fighter. The makeup is a little different, the size is a little different, but their boxing style, the way that they fight, is the exact same.
With Davis planning to retire at the end of 2025, time is running out for him and Lopez to settle their differences in the ring. Davis has said he plans to fight 3 times a year until he retires, but that leaves little room for mistakes. Every fight from now on needs to be meaningful, not just for his legacy, but for the fans who expect greatness. As for Lopez, his future is just as uncertain. His talent is clear, but his off-the-ring decisions have raised questions. His call-out of Terence Crawford was bold, but seen by many as unrealistic, as moving up to 154 pounds to fight one of the best fighters in the world was always a long shot. Now, with Lopez focused on getting out of his top-rank contract, no one knows what his next move will be. However, Tank wasn't just targeting Lopez.
He's been catered more than I've been, and pampered more than I've ever been.
Boxing fans have talked about you and Ryan for a long, long time.
I think more me and Tank will be than Ryan. I like facing the guys that beat the guy, rather than the guy that lost to the guy. Ryan.
Davis's recent demands for a potential rematch with Ryan Garcia showed just how much he values himself. After knocking Garcia out in the 7th round in their first fight, Davis made it clear he's open to doing it again, but only if the price is right. $150 million. This is no casual request. It's a statement that Davis sees himself as one of the most valuable fighters in the sport. His Instagram post, where he said, "I'll tax that again. Tell them boys to give me $150 million. I'm coming," wasn't just boasting. It was a serious message. Tank has always been confident in his abilities, but now his confidence comes with a big financial expectation.
Hopefully I fight Ryan again. If they're not on some host, I tax that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming.
Davis's demand for $150 million for a rematch with Ryan Garcia is sure to spark debates among fans, promoters, and other fighters. Some may wonder if it's reasonable, or just Tank being Tank, while others might see it as a way for Davis to ensure the fight happens on his terms. The conditions of their first fight in 2023 can't be ignored. Garcia fought under a 136 lb catchweight and a 10 lb rehydration limit, which many believed gave Davis an unfair advantage. Garcia, only 23 at the time, looked physically drained and wasn't at his best, which led some to question how the fight might have gone if Garcia had been at full strength. Now, Garcia is a more experienced boxer and a bigger public figure with a massive social media following, drawing in millions of fans and sponsors, making him one of the most marketable names in the sport. Meanwhile, Davis has been quieter, with just one fight since defeating Garcia, a win against Frank Martin, and his next fight against Lamont Roach. For some, that's enough to stay relevant, but for others, it shows that Davis isn't fully using the momentum he gained after the Garcia victory.
Me and Tank was like one of one. We had the 5th largest gate ever in history of boxing. That's gonna be hard to top. I think the rematch with me and Tank would go crazy. Like, I think bigger than the first one.
Yeah, you would do that?
I would love to do it. Yeah, I've already told him in my DMs, you want to make $200 million in this fight? I'm chasing him down.
Critics argue that Tank Davis isn't taking the high-risk, high-reward fights that could solidify his legacy. Instead, he's choosing safer options that don't carry the same level of challenge. His demand for $150 million might also be a way for him to take back control, showing that he believes his value is unmatched. While it's a bold move, it comes with risks. If Garcia's team finds the asking price too high, it could delay or even cancel the rematch. With Garcia's growing popularity, Davis may have to reconsider his stance. There's also the question of whether Tank can remain a top draw in the sport. While his power and skill are undeniable, boxing is as much about entertainment as it is about athleticism, and Garcia's star power, with his charm and social media presence, goes beyond just boxing. If a rematch were to happen, Garcia could end up being the fighter who controls the spotlight and negotiations, a shift that seemed impossible just 2 years ago. Tank's $150 million demand could also reflect his understanding of how big the fight would be, a spectacle that would attract both casual fans and hardcore boxing enthusiasts.
He's talked about fighting probably 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
So Ryan is just having fun. He's coming off of a big win for him. So, you know, he's feeling good and he's feeling himself like he should.
What do you think? I mean, would you guys...
He can't beat Tank, though. I can tell you that.
The financial potential of a rematch between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is huge, but so is the pressure. Tank is saying that if he steps into the spotlight again, it needs to be worth it. Given the success of their first fight, it's not unreasonable to think a rematch could bring in enough money to justify his $150 million demand. However, it's still a risk. Garcia, on the other hand, seems unfazed and focused on personal and professional growth. He's been working on his skills and brand, and if the rematch happens, he'll be a much tougher opponent than in 2023. The lessons from his loss and his physical and mental growth could make him a serious challenge to Tank. However, Tank's next fight is against Lamont Roach, a matchup that many see as a mismatch. Roach, moving up from 130 pounds, is considered a big underdog. It's a fight Tank is expected to win easily, which makes fans question why Tank is facing such an opponent when he's asking for $150 million for a rematch. This fight doesn't seem to build excitement or anticipation, and that's the paradox of Tank Davis. He has immense talent and star power, but his career choices often leave fans wanting more. Whether it's his choice of opponents, his activity level, or his financial demands, Tank is a figure who sparks debate and divides opinion. Love him or hate him, he knows how to keep people talking. Now, all eyes are on Lamont Roach. If he can surprise everyone and put on an amazing performance against Davis, it could change his career. For Tank, this fight is a chance to show the world why he's one of the best in boxing. But if Roach manages to do better than expected, it could mess up Davis's plans and bring up more questions about his future. We'll have to wait and see how Lamont Roach does. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.